Hey there, good morning, Team Impact. Afternoon, we're going to get into the next lesson called Reflections. Um, Not really an anchor of ours, but it's a fun lesson. And we're going to extend it a little bit tomorrow and do some big reflections with a protractor. That's always cool, maybe offer some bonus points there. Anyway, use a number line to determine the location of each description below. All right, the opposite of 6 we know is -6. The opposite of 5 is 5. The opposite of 2 is -2. What pattern do you observe when determining the opposite of a number? All right. It's the opposite value located the same distance away from 0. It's just opposite and same distance from 0. Okay, let's talk about what a reflection is. A reflection flips a figure over a line of reflection in order to create a mirror image. Okay? Each reflected point of the figure should be the same distance from the line of reflection on the opposite side. Okay? All right, so pre-image, the image being reflected is figure A. Now, to know what image to know what the image is after the reflection is called the image, and we call that A prime. Okay? So you're going to see how all this fits together. All right? All right. So what is our line of reflection? Remember, this is X, this is Y. They're reflecting that over the Y axis. Sorry, let me pull that up for you. Here, we're reflecting over the X axis. And here, we're going from quadrant 3 to quadrant 4 over the Y axis. Not too bad so far. I'll let you get caught up there a little bit. Okay? All right. 4A, what is a line of reflection? I always like to do this. It helps me remember. Here is our pre-image, and here is our image, right? So this is where we're starting. This is where we're finishing here, right? So our line of reflection is the x-axis. All right. In what quadrant was the original point located? The original point located was in quadrant 1, pre-before, image after. And what quadrant is the new image? Quadrant 4. And what do you notice about the ordered pairs? This is where it gets tricky. When we reflect over the x-axis, we change the sign of the y-coordinate, right? So when we're going over the x-axis, we're going to change that second sign. So the second or y-coordinate is opposite. Started at 4 to -4. That's all you need to do to reflect over the x-axis. You change the y-coordinate. So it's kind of opposite when you think about it. Okay? All right, let's take a peek on the next one. All right, so it says reflect triangle W, X, Y, over the y-axis, and then answer the questions. Okay, so, all right, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to list, all right, my ordered pairs first. Record the vertices of the pre-image. So X, all right, remember this is X, this is Y. X is -2 and 4. All right, W is -7 and 6. Y is -7 and 2. Okay? Now remember, okay, to reflect over the y-axis, we're going to change the x-coordinate. So I could go ahead and write these new ordered pairs down, and we're going to call this x prime. And that's going to be what? All right, to reflect over. So we're going to change the sign of the first one. So we're going to be 2 and 4. W prime. We're going to be 7 and 6. Y prime. We're going to be 7 and 2. So if I plot these points, all right, on my graph, you're going to see that it's become reflected. So let's do that. 2, 4. 2, 4 is right there. Let's call that x prime. Okay, W. 7, 6 right here, and that was W prime. And then over here, 7, 2, over 7 up 2, we're going to call that Y prime. Okay, and I'm going to use a straight edge on my protractor, and you're going to see a perfect reflection over the y-axis. When we reflect over the y-axis, we change the x-coordinate. These were negatives, now they're all positives, right? Okay. So, describe how the reflection affected the x and the y values. Well, the x value is the opposite sign, we'll call it. The y value was the same. Right? So when we reflect over the y-axis, the y value stays the same. We change the x-coordinate. Okay? Let's go again. Okay? Next one up. Reflect this over the x-axis. This was x, this was y. First thing I'm going to do is write my coordinates down just like I did before. M. M is -2 and -2. L. L is -5 and -2. O. -5 and -7. N. -2, -7. All I did was list the ordered pairs of those vertices of that rectangle. Now I'm going to go ahead and do my image, and these are going to be the prime. M prime. Now remember, I'm going over the x-axis, so I changed the sign of the y-coordinate. So this is still -2, but it goes to 2. L prime. This is still -5, but it goes to 2. O prime. This is still -5, but it goes to 7. N prime. This is still -2, but it goes to 7. And let's plot our new points. M prime, -2, 2. L prime, -5, 2. O prime, -5, 7. N prime, -2, 7. And now I'm going to connect the dots, and you're going to see a reflection over the x-axis because we changed the sign of the y-coordinate. Okay? So in this value, all right, they became the opposite sign, and they remained the same, the y. Oops, the same. Go ahead and get caught up there, and we'll continue on. Okay, let's keep rocking. The pre-image of a triangle has the vertices of this, this, and this. Nisha reflected the image over the y-axis and was asked to describe the location of the image. Do you agree or disagree with her statement? And use the graph for help. All right, so instead of reading all this, let's just go through and make it, and let's kind of look at it from there, okay? All right, because it's going to be hard to interpret this. So let's make this image 3, -1. We're going to call that D. E is 4, -3, right there. F is 2, -4, right there. Okay, let me connect these dots. Okay, so we're going to reflect it, I think they said, over the y-axis. So, if we're reflecting over the y-axis, right, if we're going to flip it over to here, reflect it, then we're going to change the sign of the x-coordinate. So, on the first one, D should be -3, -1. Okay, and it's not. E should be -4, 3, and it's not. F should be -2, -4, and it's not. So no, this is incorrect. All right. She reflected over the x-axis. And that's a problem because they wanted it over the y. Okay? All right, get caught up there. I think I'm going to do another sheet in class. I'll throw it on the Schoology. So if you want to do another practice sheet. But this is the homework tonight, right here. And we shall go from there. Have a great day, guys. I'll see you when I see you.